At USC Marshall, the IB MBA that I finally did was on the top.
Right.
And I also I applied to like Emory, Notre Dame.
Right.
So those were the other choices. But definitely USC was the first.
Wow.
Because to be honest, I wasn't very confident.
Okay.
I felt that my score wasn't like a 730 or a 740.
Right.
And I also come from like Indian IT female, which is a very overrepresented pool.
Mm.
And these are like the top 15 colleges that I mentioned. So
Right.
it's really competitive to get into.
Mm.
So I was relying heavily on the way I write my essays and application part.
Right.
So I had a friend, she was also doing her MBA in Berkeley.
Mm.
And so she introduced me to Himang.
Got it.
And the way she introduced me, and I have known her for like really long time, that he's somebody I really vouch for.
Mm.
And he's very hardworking, diligent. And so when I heard from her, I knew that I can trust
Mm.
Himang with this. And when I had a first conversation with Himang, one thing that came across to me was he was very super sure and he had that clarity, how he wants to work and what elements he wants to bring in. So I felt reassured that I am in like safe hands. So that was, and when I started working, I saw that like every time I would like ask for updates or
Mm.
the guidance that came for my resume, for
Mm.
my essays,
Mm.
um, they were like very, very good. And it would just come, I would write something, and because you can be biased towards your story, you can be because it's a personal story, but how a third person's read it,
Yeah.
it's I can't be like very objective.
Right.
So every time the changes came, the that he suggested, I think that made a lot of difference.
Mm.
It made all the difference, I would say. And I think when you're working with a admission consultant, it's like that person's role also to build that, psychological safety and environment of trust, which Himank and you did very well.
Mm.
Because to open up your personal story, it's like a life journey.
Yeah.
And then you coming and, very sensitively, you like what I should mention and what I shouldn't mention. So I would say that the way you guys connected with me, you spoke to me, it was very warm, very friendly,
Mm.
and that helped gain my trust because like I was like the way I looked at my profile was a overrepresented pool,
Mm.
like 10 plus years of experience, not a very high GMAT score. So
Mm.
there were a lot of people who turned me down,
Mm.
um, saying that, because of these factors. And I did not have much time. I was ready. I wanted to apply in second round because as an international student, that was my best bet.
Mm.
And it was already December. I would have hardly had like a 1 month's time. So I really wanted somebody who could help me, like
Yeah.
if I'm talking today, maybe from tomorrow we can just start.
Mm.
And like the frequency of exchange and updates and
Mm.
guidance, there wasn't much time to spare anywhere. And like I was targeting like 3 to 4 colleges. So I think that's where I was a little panicked.
Mm.
So those were the other consultants. They want to help you when they see that you already have the elements that it takes to you have a good score. There was something that is some like a lot of career spikes or but to begin with a very, very good GMAT score. They would ask you to go back, take the exam, and come back to them with a better score.
Mm.
So those were the things I was being turned down. When I spoke to Himank, I had given like my attempt
Mm.
and one attempt, and I was preparing for another. And
Mm.
at that point, also, he told me it's better if you get a better score, but don't go with that mindset to the exam. So he even coached me very positively there that if you have that mindset that I have to get this much, if you create that pressure on you or any aspirant, it's very difficult to score in that exam environment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so I think it was overall very, very reassuring because I knew the person who's talking to me.
Yeah.
Um, he's himself from like a very good B school. So he
Yeah.
understands the drill. And that's something that came very handy when he was talking to me. And
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like I can understand so much what you're saying, because I also do not have a like a great GRE score.
Mhm.
That's what I took for my exam. And Himak, like, he coached me also in ways that I needed to understand that I have given enough attempts, and now I need to step back and,
Mm.
move ahead with the best I have. And like, I came to Georgetown,
Pleasure
and it's a
too,
great school.
because now talking to you after an year, I can recall what I went through, and I'm like, I revisited my experiences and my emotions at that moment. And I'm really very glad that you both, were God sent for me and you helped me. So thank you so much.